times have you been put off from trying something new? You've always wanted to try possibly a new sport, or perhaps you wanted to climb a mountain, but you've told yourself you're too old to start a new sport now, or you're too young. Maybe you want to play a new instrument, but you know that you don't have that special gift. Maybe you've always wanted to be a baker, but you're no baker. You've never baked. You don't have no baking talents. I know that's something I've told myself. I have no baking talents, so therefore I'm afraid to bake. Yes, believe it or not, I am afraid to bake. Moreover, many of us, because we're afraid, we have been fooled, and we've fooled ourselves and told us these lies, and we've internalized these lies. We've actually we've really ingrained them, that we now believe it, we actually breathe it, and therefore we don't even attempt it now. We've told ourselves that you need to either have a gift or you need that special talent in order to reach peak performance. Comments such as those not only shatters your dreams, but can stop you attempting to actually try and pursue this dream. So you've actually even given up even before you have tried. And you have told yourself that I am no Picasso, so therefore why even try? Hello everyone, this is Alifa Begum from Alifa Begum Official. Today I'm talking about hard work versus talent. And does talent really even exist? Or do you have to be born with that special thing in order to reach peak performance? Oprah Winfrey herself says that your life's work is to find life's work and then to exercise the discipline, tenacity and hard work it takes to pursue it. Mind you, we all know that Oprah Winfrey didn't have an easy life, but yet again, she's made a huge success of her life. Talent really is truly a beautiful thing, and those that have it have been blessed. So what about the rest of us? Are we stuck? Does that mean we can't reach great heights, or we can't soar? Or are the good things only reserves? Pele himself said practice is everything. Then he goes on to saying, success is no accident. It is hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, sacrifice, and most of all, love what you are doing or learning to do. He does not say anything about being born with something, nor does he say or even mention the word talent, but he keeps talking about learning, hard work, sacrificing, and studying your art, and studying and learning your craft. We live in a society whereby we're told that we can become millionaires overnight. We can have the slimmest body, in a matter of just taking a magic pill. Furthermore, we're even told that we can have a great set of abs just by having a fantastic tea. Stephen King says this: talent is cheaper than table salt. I mean, just listen to this. Talent is cheaper than table salt. What separates the talented individual from the successful one is a lot of hard work. Albert Einstein, who doesn't know him? This is the question. Who doesn't? A genius, and even talked about in this modern era today. And he says this: I have no special talent. I am only passionately curious. I have no special talent. I am only passionately curious. Albert Einstein. Fantastic or what? Hard work is really undermined. For Einstein to say hard work is something that is necessary, this should hold a lot of weight. So this is a story about two girls, and both of them wanted to learn Chinese. Now the first girl, we'll call her girl A, and we have girl B. Girl A had some kind of influence with Chinese speaking because she grew up in a town where she had Chinese neighbors. She was always around Chinese people. She had friends that were Chinese, so there she was able to pick up some of the lingo. She knew the dialect. She was able to converse somewhat, or if not converse, she was able to actually understand quite a lot of the vocabulary. Moving on to girl B. Now girl B had no cultural interferences. She had no background knowledge of the language. She didn't know anyone from the Chinese background. She had no Mandarin friends or neighbors, etc. So basically she had zero past experience in Mandarin Chinese. So they were on a mission, well, particularly girl B was. She was on a focus mission, I should say, to learn and master the Mandarin language by the coming term. So occasionally girl A would say, oh, let's test you in your Chinese. Obviously she was far more experienced, as you'd like, compared to girl B. So girl A had a head start. We can say she was on, say for example, at 50% when girl B started with 0. So girl B was on a journey of putting in the extra hours, and she was on a mission to get this language under her belt. So every morning before she actually went into school every day, only to be mocked and ridiculed, and you'll never learn, or you'll never be as good as me. And thereafter, when school had finished, girl B would go home and learn some more Mandarin. Furthermore, she will also then do a lot of self-help and a lot of self-learning, where she would actually consume all her energy and all her time into the Mandarin language. Anyway, as time progressed, as 3 months went on, girl B was putting in a lot of effort into the language. As she put in a lot of effort into the language, she was able to understand basic greetings, hello, hi, when she was actually watching certain TV programs or radio channels. You have to understand, girl B was actually putting in a lot of effort, surrounding herself and her environment in the Mandarin language and culture. As months progressed and months went on, girl A wanted to test her. Oh, how are you progressing? Girl A, on the other hand, mind you, obviously she knew some of the language and she knew she already had a head start. Therefore, she wasn't really studying much at all or learning, because she was fairly content, and she was relying, so to speak, her talent. She was relying on her talent to sort of take her far, or to be enough, as you'd like. Girl A then decided to test her, and whilst she was being tested, she realized that girl B realized that a lot of what she's being tested on by girl A, girl B was able to understand. She was able to make quite a lot of sense of it. Oh, didn't stop. So another 3 months went on. Girl B put in double the hard work. So not only did she now have clubs in the afternoon, break time, she constantly was listening to Chinese Mandarin audio. She was immersed in the language, literally, you can say. Now girl A and girl B were due to test each other again, as you'd like. So remember, girl A started off with 50%, where girl B was on 0. So when they were both, when girl A wanted to conduct and start testing girl B, only to realize that girl A's level and her vocabulary was actually a far lower level than girl B. In fact, before we could even go to 10%, 20%, 30%, in that 3 months, she actually surpassed the 50%. So she actually surpassed girl A because she was using far better and much higher vocabulary that girl A could not understand. So girl A is a little bit now a bit concerned, a little bit nervous, now doing better than her. And the simple fact is she was only doing better not because she was really talented and she was able to absorb language. She put in a lot of hard work. She was grinding away. She was crushing away. She was obsessed about the language. Anyway, as a few months went past again, girl A this time really was, girl A was concerned because she wanted to be better. Not only that, she also wanted to be able to lead. She wanted to be able to teach girl B as opposed to her being taught by girl B. So girl A, she went to a few after school clubs. She was learning Mandarin possibly once or twice a week, whereas girl B was learning 7 days a week. Not only was she learning with the exchange student who happened to stay 6 months in their home, but also she was still learning her radio. She was still watching the radio shows, the TV shows, the news, everything in Chinese Mandarin. So with the exposure that she had, she pretty much had 90% exposure of the language, whereas you have girl A who had 10% of exposure when she was having her weekly mentoring or her weekly tutoring. So with girl A's tuition lessons, it still didn't cover girl B's efforts and her hard work. And I just would like to now bring it to, so in the end, to cut the story short, in the end, girl B surpassed and she went 100%. Her language skills was far better. In fact, she was then teaching girl A as opposed to girl A teaching girl B. Now I just want to leave you with something that's for those of us that believe talent and gift is something we are born with and it's genetic and therefore we can't do anything about it. But those of us that don't have talent, we have to rely on hard work. That's all we have, because we can't change our DNA, we can't change our genetic, we can't change our genes, nor can we change our family heritage or where we've come from. However, what we can change is the hard work that we put in and the effort that we put in. And Michael Jordan says this ever so beautifully. He says, talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence wins champions. I want to leave you with a quick story. For those of you that know it, that's great. I don't know the story, just Google it. You should find it. It's in, kids' books, and it's a very short story, and it's about the hare and the tortoise. So the hare naturally is very, very talented and very, very fast. And he was boasting about how fast he was, etc., and how he could beat everyone in a race. So nobody dared to challenge the hare. The only one that could challenge the hare was the tortoise. And of course it was very laughable, and all the animals laughed and hurled at the tortoise for even attempting. However, the tortoise held his chin up, had the courage, and he plodded along. So once the challenge was accepted. The hare was winning by great lengths since he was very talented, he was an athlete, he was extremely fast, and he had a huge head start. And as he was whizzing off, the tortoise was slowly plodding along. Even a snail could surpass him. However, since the hare had a huge head start and he was way before the tortoise, he decided to take a little break, knowing that his opponent could never beat him. And in short, the tortoise slowly went to the finish line and beat the hare. Now, what's the moral of the story? The moral of the story is don't always rely on your talent. Work hard. If you think you're working hard, there is someone somewhere out there in the world that's working 10 times harder than you. So talent is a great thing, and it's a blessing if you have it. However, those of you that don't have talent does not mean you're stuck, and does not mean that you can never achieve greatness. However, you can reach anything with hard work, discipline. Lastly, just by believing in yourself, knowing that you can achieve it and you will get there. Please share this video if it helped you and helped others, and do remember this: if you don't have talent, it really doesn't matter. Hard work, belief and discipline, that's all you need. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, like and share this video. Thank you. Bye bye.